Hello, my wonderful Aquarians. Welcome back to my channel. I hope you all are doing amazing. In today's video, I will be tapping into the energies of your love life. So it's going to be your general love reading for the week here. So pretty much whatever comes out for you guys. Okay, guys, so the card that we have here is you've learned the spiritual lesson, mastery. Okay. And then bottom of the deck, we have interference. An external party is intruding on this relationship. Okay. Now, Aquarius, what I see here with you've learned the spiritual lesson is like this can be a week where you are, reconnecting with someone, or there is something that is resurfacing in a past connection, but you already know what's going to happen, or even if you're anticipating a change, you are involved with someone that's having a hard time breaking free from possibly a cycle that doesn't feel healthy. It's like you know who is coming towards you or why they're coming towards you. And it's because their behavior has been very consistent, or they have a specific way of, communicating with you and then disconnecting and coming back around. But there's a pattern that you're very familiar with. But in the now, you could be choosing to completely cut ties with this individual or put this in the past here. Let's see. You may also have someone who's coming back around, but while you were connecting with them in the past, you were in a very different space emotionally and mentally. And in the now, you're having a change in perspective because you are, in a different space. And so your emotions could have changed as well. Okay, so we have the Ten of Wands on the bottom of the deck, and we have the Knight of Pentacles. Yeah, it's like you feel like you've been waiting for a very long time for something to get off the ground here, where the waiting game became very, very draining for you with the Ten of Wands. Like this is a burdensome energy, feeling like you're doing something on your own or feeling like you're putting your best foot forward, but you're not really seeing your desired results. And so, furthermore, with the Knight of Pentacles, that could be like a very stagnant energy, or someone who's possibly telling you that they're moving towards you or going to offer you something stable, but you feel like they were kind of dragging their feet to do so. So many of you have given up on a situation because it was at a standstill for a very long time. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to start off by saying how you are being viewed. The Seven of Pentacles. I mean, this is someone who's viewing you as analyzing the situation and asking yourself if it's really worth the investment moving forward. They're viewing you to be in a very like a realistic energy where you're being logical about the situation. They may even feel like you're making a head over heart decision this week, right? So in the past, you could have kind of allowed your heart to guide you or your emotions towards this person. But in the now, they're like, I feel like Aquarian is looking at the situation and I don't know if they feel like this is going to be worth it. And they may sense that you're turning your back towards a situation or you're giving up here. But they're viewing you as, again, operating from a logical perspective. So if this is someone that, for example, you had a very soft spot for in the past, or you would give them the benefit of the doubt, or you would, sympathize with them in the now, they don't feel like you're in a position to do that. If anything, I think that they sense some sort of frustration on your end. So we have the Four of Cups followed by the Star card. They feel like you're not interested or you don't feel the same way that you used to. Four of Cups could quite literally be someone questioning your interest, right? And the star card is your energy, but for those two cards to come up in the challenge position here, it's like they're trying to be hopeful, but when they look at the reality of the situation, how you're operating or how you're responding is telling them otherwise. And Four of Cups is someone who's not happy in the current dynamic, but it's an energy of like more sulking going on, and it's not the most action oriented energy. So this could even be someone who feels challenged by the fact that they feel they were waiting for something to happen, or they were not happy or pleased, but they weren't necessarily doing anything to like, or actively doing anything to change the dynamic here. So it's like, I've waited way too long, or it's too late for me to get this together or apologize. And the star card is an energy of being hopeful. And it's also a card of healing, but it's coming up in the challenge position, which means they're struggling to move forward. They're struggling to completely detach or let this connection go. And the more they try to be, it's like I do sense they're trying to be optimistic, but it's not necessarily working, right? Especially with the Four of Cups. That's like someone feeling stuck in visions of the both of you together, thinking about, oh, well, this is what I could have had. This is what I should have done. This is what I could have done, right? But it's something that's going on for them mentally and emotionally. And it's someone who most certainly feels like they took way too long to actively do something about, the disconnect. How are you viewing them? The Page of Wands. Yeah. So the pages in the deck are the messenger. So you could be hearing from this person this week with the Page of Wands, but you may feel like the communication is not really something that you're impressed by, right? If it's not an energy of, oh, I'm not impressed by this, and you are looking forward to hearing from this person, I don't think you are pleased with how they are coming in. It's almost like there's something here you want to address, right? Like the elephant in the room or the fact that there's a disconnect, but this is someone who's coming in to test the waters. And so, again, there's something very consistent about this person's behavior, or there's been a pattern here and you're very familiar with it where it's very hard for you to ignore. So, as for example, as you're conversing with this person this week, you might just be thinking to yourself, well, I know how this is going to go. This is exactly what they tell me. This is exactly what they say, but I know that we're going to end up at square one, right? That's just a generic example of how you could be feeling. Um, there could also be an age gap between you and this person. I think you view them as someone that you have a lot of fun with. I think that there's like a very fiery or passionate energy between the both of you. Um, but it could be that you're asking yourself, is that enough? Or am I wanting something more? Okay, so in your feelings, we have the Nine of Wands followed by the Knight of Cups. You're defensive towards an apology here. Like the best way for me to explain this, Aquarius, is like you have someone coming forward, opening up to you emotionally or apologizing for their actions. But with the Nine of Wands, I see that you're in a very guarded energy. Like some of you could have quite literally have had this person blocked in the past because you may have felt the only way I can heal from this is by going no contact, right? If I keep connecting with this person, if I keep conversing with them, there's no way that I'm going to be able to heal. So that may have been some like a choice that you made for your own, well-being or just to be in a better space emotionally. But I feel like you're guarded towards an offer or you don't entirely trust this person. Because Knight of Cups, I mean, you're receiving this offer or you have someone coming in and conversing with you. But Nine of Wands is like, like I'm not sure or feeling uncertainty or feeling like you're on the fence here. You also feel very wounded by this person. So I think as they're conversing with you, that's also something that is resurfacing for you. So it's like, yes, I'm excited to connect with this person, or it's nice to hear from them, but you're also reminded of maybe the hurt that was caused or the pain that you've had to endure on your own. You feel like this person or the situation caused you to put up a pretty large guard here, or you have some sort of an armor around your heart. So the Four of Cups is being clarified by the Hermit. Some of you could be dealing with a Virgo. And then we have the Five of Wands clarifying the Star card. This person feels like they put you in a situation that was out of your control. Okay. I know that sounds a bit confusing, but that's how I'm receiving the download. So to boil down that energy, right? It's like Five of Wands could be external influences. It could be connecting with you while there were other energies involved, or, something that was in the way that they were kind of like refraining from telling you. But this is usually like a chaotic situation or a situation where there's a lot of drama. It could even be like constant bickering between the both of you where they're looking at the situation in the now and they're feeling challenged by it because they're like, okay, well, that's something I could have avoided. Because yes, the fives, they speak about obstacles and conflicts, but Five of Wands in particular is usually petty conflict, something that lacks importance. That's why they're fighting with sticks and not swords, right? So it's like there may be something here that they're like, you know what, I could have communicated that differently to Aquarian, or you know what, I always wanted the last word in conversation or in arguments, and it led to where we are now. So was it really worth it, right? There could be some sort of ego based thoughts that this person was operating from that they now regret, hence why it's in the challenge position. And the hermit is someone who's in a period of solitude. They feel like they've gained some form of wisdom when it comes to the connection with you. But what they're starting to realize is they put you through a situation that wasn't necessarily in your control, but you were trying to do your best to navigate or maneuver through it. But they feel like it has either turned you off or your emotions have changed because you feel so drained by it. And the hermit and the star card, especially, it could be like insight, right? Or realizing, like why something felt destined to be, but why something did not work out, right? It's like a deeper meaning as to why you're going through or why you're experiencing, the things that you're experiencing. So I do see them realizing that, but because it's coming up in this specific position, I think that they're also having a hard time fathoming or accepting the reality of a situation. And there's a lot that they feel like they could have avoided. They feel like there's a lot of external influences that they allowed to get in the way of creating something stable with you. And it's something that they regret. So in their feelings, we have the Strength card. Some of you could be dealing with the Leo. And we also have the Ace of Swords. So it's like wanting to open up or reveal a truth to you, but the Strength card is usually when someone's fighting an urge, even though they feel something so intensely. So whether it's they're operating from a space of ego or pride, or it's like, I really want to open up to Aquarian, but I'm afraid of rejection or I'm afraid of something not working out the way that I wanted to, right? And this person has a soft spot for you. Like in the Strength card there, she is in control of, what you would call like an apex predator, right? And so what that's symbolic for, or what that's, indicating is there is a soft spot that this person has for you. They feel like, you know how to speak to them. They feel very connected to you on a deep level. And that can be the reason why the fact that they were not honest with you is causing them to feel uneasy. Even if they're trying to move forward, they're like, well, I could have avoided this. And even if they're not showing it on the outside, the way that you portray them in the now, or the fact that you don't see them in the same light, is definitely bothering them. But I think because it's a mix of those emotions as well as wanting to appear nonchalant or having it together, that is what's causing them to, or that's what's causing them to feel a little all over the place. So what I'm going to do now, guys, is I'm going to clarify your emotions as well as theirs, but I'm just going to use another deck. So we have the Nine of Wands and the Knight of Cups in your feelings. Eight of Swords. I think the reason why you're very guarded is you feel like you've been very stuck on this person or the situation for like X amount of time. The reason I say that is like the Eight of Swords, right? With the Nine of Wands could be when you were connecting with this person, you constantly felt stuck. Maybe you felt like the connection was stuck, like it wasn't moving forward. But you also felt like there was a lot of questions that went unanswered. You always felt like there was something that was left unsaid, or you felt very misunderstood. And so as you're thinking about reconnecting with this person or as they're conversing with you, what's coming to mind is how you felt in the past while you were connecting with them. That very mentally stuck energy. Being in a situation that felt stagnant, but also a connection that felt so powerful. So it was like, I feel stuck, but then I also still feel connected to this person. And it may have taken you a while to come out of that space. And so now you're like, do I really want to revisit that? Okay. And then we have the High Priestess. I think many of you are wanting to keep your emotions or your thoughts to yourself. Some of you could be dealing with the Pisces, but the Eight of Swords as well as the High Priestess is like you're doing a lot of thinking this week. And I think that you're trying to make sense of something or figure something out on your own. And you're definitely using your intuition to guide you through a situation as well, right? So it's like, there could be some form of telepathic communication between the both of you, or you're trying to figure out why this person is, coming back around. It's just Eight of Swords and the High Priestess is keeping to yourself, figuring something out on your own, and it's not the most direct energy. So some of you could feel uncomfortable with opening up to them, or there's some sort of discomfort with being vulnerable with this person, especially because you don't trust them. And I think that as this person's conversing with you, you're like, okay, but I can't forget the pain that I've endured, right? Because what I see that feels a bit conflicting for you in your feelings is this internal battle of the connection that you feel with this person, but the reality of the connection as well. So what I mean by that, it's like you might be acknowledging that you feel intensely towards this individual, but you may also be acknowledging that this is someone who, was not making a decision, or this is a situation that, has been at a stalemate for X amount of time. So we have the Strength card and the Ace of Swords in your feelings. Let's see. We have the Temperance. Some of you could be dealing with a Sagittarius, so wanting to restore balance, you're wanting to work something out with you, but the Temperance is also a card of doing things in moderation. So you may find the first step here is they're reaching out to you, and you may see an increase in their effort, but it is someone who's operating in like baby steps. And we have the Page of Wands. And we do have the Page of Wands there in terms of how you're viewing them. So I do see this person communicating with you, okay? And they're very excited or looking forward to it, but they feel like they need to take baby steps here. The other thing I will say, guys, is like there may be some sort of truth that this person is revealing to you, but not initially. The reason I say that is we have the Ace of Swords upright, which is clarity or truth being revealed. But the first card that came out in their feelings is the Strength card, which is like refraining from saying something or fighting an urge for a while prior to coming forward. Okay, so let's see what's going on in the potential outcome. The Queen of Swords, okay, and the Four of Pentacles. I think many of you are choosing to keep your distance here, or you're doing more listening and analyzing as opposed to speaking. Here's what I will say, Aquarian. Even if you're open to hearing this person out, the Queen of Swords is like when your head is above water. There's something that you know about this person, or there's a pattern that you're very familiar with, and you can no longer ignore it. It's not like you're operating from a space of, for example, in the past when this person was communicating with you, or if they have wronged you in any way and they were making it up to you, you may have been operating from a space of, let me make a heartfelt decision, or I still feel connected to this person. But in the potential outcome is what I see is like you're looking at the situation, you're like, is this really offering me stability and structure? And with what you know now, it's very difficult for you to see this person the way that you once have. So let's clarify. Okay, let's clarify the Queen of Swords and the potential outcome. Look at this, guys. Strength card in reverse. And we have the Strength card in their feelings. Someone like is letting their guard down and fully opening up to you in hopes that you guys are, in hopes that they can work something out with you. And I think something that you might appreciate is the fact that they're letting their guard down, or they're putting their ego aside. But again, Queen of Swords is like sticking by a decision that you've made, okay? Or being open for conversation with this individual, but feeling like with the knowledge you have now, you're not able to see a future here, or you're not able to see this person in the same light. So what's the Four of Pentacles? Look at this, guys. The Seven of Swords in reverse. You have someone who's coming clean, especially with the Strength card and the Seven of Swords. Is this taking everything in them? Absolutely. We have the Strength card twice, right? But it's like, It's causing them to feel uneasy. Whether this is a form of closure or it's someone who feels like I just can't move on knowing that I haven't been transparent here. Seven of Swords in reverse is like letting down that guard, right? Confessing something to you. Even if it's a truth that has already been revealed to you, or it's something that you have had a gut feeling about, I see someone coming clean here. Okay. So that is what I'm getting for you guys this week. I really do hope you were able to find a message that resonated with you here today. And thank you so much for your time.